There, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me live, and it's good to see so many of you here. Before I keep going, can we just confirm in the chat that you can hear me? Um, yeah, we had a little bit of a scramble before starting, I'm not gonna lie. Um, I know, that's crazy. So many people already. Um, Amy, you'll have to tell us what was happening. Well, I mean, you don't have to repeat it if it was not a great live, because I get that. Like, after like technical issues during lives, it's just like it's time for bed. Like I just don't like want to even think about it. Is what can you do? But let's see. Great, thank you. Thank you for confirming, everybody. Hi. It's cold still. Um, and I see so many of you interacting in the chat. Hopefully, Carrie, you're feeling much better. Yeah, we've been talking offline. And Rosie, thank you for joining us. Let me see who else we've got here. Thank you, Kathy. It has been a week, and as we start pouring in, oh, and Zainab, yeah, we're gonna talk about this set. But yeah, we'll be bringing in other things, and the set that I'm using will be a little bit different than what I usually showcase on this channel. So, it is Wednesday, 1/28 at 7:33. Thank you for joining me. As I always say, I hope to take about an hour and a half of your time. However, I just don't know how long this card is going to take. I'm keeping it pretty simple. It's very technique focused. There's a lot of assembly pieces to this. Um, but yeah, we'll see what happens. And truthfully, today's the day before I'm supposed to leave for Concord and Ninth, and it's been a busy week at work. I really haven't been able to pack. I haven't cut my hair yet. Um, yeah, there's just a lot going on. I haven't die cut like I'm sure you all have done your homework for Concord and Ninth Winter Retreat, but I have not done my own homework yet. So I still need to do that, and I'm trying to figure out if I even want to do it in the morning before my flight. But oh, I can barely see the chat on my side. I'm sorry, I'm like looking at so many different screens, but um yes, so many of you are just freezing away. But I hear in Florida you all are not. And um yeah. Yeah, and this is what I'm sure. I'm sure it was a great live, Amy. Um so many people say great things about you, so um and I'm jealous. I'm jealous the homework is done. I have not done mine. And this will be my first winter retreat. Usually I teach summer camp and it's one instructor, one class. But for winter, it's one instructor and two classes. So I actually have to die cut a lot more pieces. But I mean, that's what it's there for, right? And we get to use our stash of cardstock. So yeah. Ooh, yeah. I'm a little anxious about that. So, I mean, but usually we have downtime. It's fun to just meet everybody over at Concord and Ninth again and interact with the whole team. And of course, the other instructors. It's going to be nice to see Jennifer, um, Christina, um, Laura Basson, and I hear there are other surprise guests who might show up, but I'm not really sure. And Greg, and of course, and the whole Concord and Ninth team. So, um, yeah, let's see what else we've got going on here. Uh, yeah, and I hear it's a different vibe. Summer camp is very, um, I don't want to say that winter retreat is more chill, right? But I hear it's just a different environment, and um, I'm I'll admit, like some of the games that we play on Concord and Ninth, like I'm just not very good at really fast-paced thinking. There was a game we played where it was like an adaptation of categories, I think. Is categories the ones where you have to like you have a letter and then you have to name certain things related to a certain topic that start with that letter. So for example, if the letter was M and I had to name a Concord and Ninth cardstock or color, like, I'd have to look, but I don't, those things like I can think of naturally, right? But not in the moment. I'm like all flustered. And so those ones were hard. Those ones are hard for me. And Anyway, that was a little ramble there. um, and that's what it feels like. Lucy, are you in Winter Retreat? I feel like that's how many pieces I have to cut, but it's so worth it. Like, I love the cards that we got. I like the kit that we got this year. It's so fun. Um, just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Uh, yeah, and I'm hoping to now resume my normal live schedule list. So today's the live, be gone Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the following Wednesday, I think, which is the 4th. I didn't update my banners, I forgot to, sorry. But the next time I do plan to go live is February 4th. Same time, same place, right here. And yeah, it's already the end of January. I don't know what happened there, but yeah. And yeah, honestly, the production crew at Concord and Ninth behind the scenes, not only with their video team, but the other folks that are part of the Concord and Ninth team that make it happen. It's, it is so easy. I'll admit, like, it's such an easy production to work for. But equally, I work really hard to make sure that you walk out with a card that's like exceptional, right? That's extraordinary um, in a way that you paid for, right? So, yeah, and this was totally me um, during summer camp. It's a lot, and mm, yeah, and of course, the infamous say color dude. Just if it is such an inside joke if you haven't seen what happened. I still have the shirt. I don't know if I'll wear it because it's a different environment, and I want the new people to feel like they, like it's still really exciting, and because yeah, it's just it's gonna be a good time. It'll be good to see the Concord and Ninth team, and it's such a short flight. It's like an hour and a half from Denver. Um, so yeah, what else am I missing here? Mm, and like this is how it feels at work. um, yeah, it has been a week. But I'm grateful that we still get to do this. So wow, 62 people are already still joining. That is crazy. That is crazy already. And yeah, I'm glad you got picked up the kit. If you're joining us for winter retreat, I'll see you Friday. I think I'll see you Friday. I'm not sure what the festivities look like on Thursday, um, quite yet. I need to look at my emails again. So yeah, um, should we get started on this? Let me pull this off. Unless there's another question, I'll be sure to bring it up in the chat. But yeah, in today's card, I'm focusing on the Spellbinders STC Susan Tierney-Cockburn Coburn, the double and single Peonies die set. And what I understood from Yana and the marketing team over at Spellbinders is that this die set was previously released and then pulled, and then now it has been re-released. And I don't know how I missed it the first time, but it's such a stunning set. And now that I'm looking at my camera, I have left my mess out, but oh well, what can you do? Um, yeah, and I've worked with other STC dies before. They're fabulous. They're just slightly different than the All Too New Craft a Flower series. If I had to pick like a more realistic looking die set, it would be the STC ones by far. But for ease of assembly, um, following the layering guide, and for something that looks three-dimensional but still like, excuse me, on a fairly 2D plane, the All Too New ones are great for that as well. So I like the STC ones because it really lets me um, be a little bit more realistic. The card ends up being like you can't put the card in an envelope. So these are really great ones for home decor if you like doing that, or if you like to hand your cards out in person. So, um, I hope, oops, this one. Sorry, I meant to select this comment. I hope you join us soon. It's so fun. It's so fun to be at the Conquer the Night team, and Greg's team is amazing. And of course, the other instructors are super supportive. Um, yeah, we're just gonna put that in the universe, like Rosie, summer camp, 2026. I had to think of, well, I was like, what's the year? So, yeah, summer camp 2026, and you'll have whatever color cabin that is your favorite at Concord and Ninth. So I'm still waiting to be Briar Rose. I was Grasshopper and, oh, Poppy. That's how the Poppy thing came up. um, and welcome to my channel. Glad to see you here. I don't know if you joined from Amy's live, but yeah, I try to go live every Wednesday. I work full time, so we kind of see what happens, and yeah. Oops. The chat is moving so much faster than I'm used to. I used to just be able to watch the comments. But I mean, this is a lot messier than I usually keep it. My craft room's pretty tidy. I feel like I have to clean, otherwise then I can't find anything. So yeah, lots of new people. I agree. What is going on? Thank you. Thank you for joining. It's crazy. um, and of course, a lot of regular folks here. I appreciate you always interacting with me on the chat. Um, so many. That's great. Well, thank you. Thank you to Amy's live. Thank you. It's so good. um, okay, I don't want to dilly-dally too much because I'm sure you all want to see a card. But off to the side on my screen here, I have two peony flowers that I'm drawing inspiration from. Oops, not that one. Welcome, Jennifer. Yeah, I have two peony flowers that I'm drawing inspiration from. I when I first moved into this house, I was, at Botanic Garden, or not, but sorry, I was at greenhouses, in the Denver local area. And at Tagawa, if you're a Denver person, at Tagawa down in Parker, um, the first time I saw and smelled a peony was the Cora Louise Ito peony. And that's what I wanted to base my double and single peonies off of today. And I didn't want to just focus on that flower because the Ito peony is not like too complex to color. The other one was the Julia Rose Ito peony. So I'm hoping to replicate my peony flowers after those two, fill it up with some nice foliage, and assemble this card. I have a different gluing method to share today. Because liquid glue, for me, it just doesn't cut it for this instance of card making. So yeah, you were. Apparently, because there's a lot of folks already. But yeah, I appreciate it, Amy. That really means a lot that you forwarded people to my channel. And I hope I'm not taking people from other people's live sessions. This is just the time that worked for me, and I don't know when anybody else was going live. So isn't that a treat? Hello, it's been a long time since I've seen you. That has been me all week. I don't know what is going on in the laboratory world, but yes, it's a lot. I think that's just how it is with the lab world right now, I guess. Beginning of the year projects, new calendar year stuff. So, okay. Ooh, let's get started, right? Let me move my keyboard out of the way and we'll get started on this. So I've already die cut the pieces, which is why I was kind of scrambling to get things done this evening. But the die set that I'm working on, like I mentioned, is the STC double and single peonies dies. And what I like about these dies, just like the Altenew ones, is, there is some instruction to them. So in this case, I don't know if you can see that, there's a little bit of an etching on here that says to cut this piece 4 times. I can follow directions, so I surely did that. And then this piece 3 times, which I did here, and we'll kind of see what happens. I have not played with this die set yet. So what you're seeing is like fully realized, fully live um, version of what's happening, and we're just gonna hope that everything turns out pretty, because then all of you new people will never come back. uh, yes, and I'm glad you're here. Thank you, Tanya. Let's see. Oh, and Wilbur's out. Yes, Wilbur is my lovely stained pink Altenew stamping sticky matte grid. This is the 9x12 size. I knew I was going to use this with my die cuts today. And I do have some inks already picked out. Oh, and I meant to mention the colors. So the colors I have on here are blush, and these are the Spellbinders cardstocks, the color wheel cardstocks, and chiffon. And yeah, this one I'm trying to model after the Ito Peony. We'll kind of see what happens. And I'm just going to throw all of these pieces onto sticky matte grid. And I've already picked out magenta. Fresh dye ink, it's from Bubblegum Dreams, family of inks from Altenew. And coloring this is going to be pretty straightforward. If you haven't seen the Ito Peony Cora Louise, let me just drop it in the chat so that you all know what I'm talking about. It is just a beautiful lavender base petal, maybe like a really light lilac. And then in the center is this really deep but vibrant magenta, essentially. So we'll see if I need to go a little bit darker. I grabbed magenta from Bubblegum Dreams. The darkest ink color is Jazzberry, so maybe we'll see how dark we need to go. And I'm using a mini ink blending tool to apply just a little bit of color, and we're going to do a lot of dry fitting with this set in order to make it look a little bit more realistic. And I also want, let me use one of these as well. This is the detail blending brush. This is the number 5 size. I think this will be the perfect size to add a little bit more detail. So I'll just gently blend a small gradient out from the center of the flower. I really want to preserve a lot of the base petal colors in this, but there is as I'm looking at the reference images, or excuse me, the reference image there, it's just really deep in the center. So we'll see how much darker I need to go. It's a little early to think about summer blooming flowers for me in Zone 5 in Denver. My peonies usually come up shortly after my tulips. So my daffodils are some of the first to come up, even through the snow, if there's still snow on the ground. And then the daffodils stay for a really long time, almost into maybe early July, when it starts to get a little hot at night. And then sorry, my cat is trying to talk to me through the door. It kind of scared me because I'm supposed to be home alone. And where was I? Oh my goodness. I hope he doesn't do this all during the live. Well, I'm glad, because I cannot do it quite the justice that Susan does. I've seen a few of her demos with other die set releases, and they're stunning. She does something, I think, with like Copic markers or any alcohol-based markers, and I don't know, they're just stunning. just absolutely beautiful. It's like, um, it doesn't look like it's going to be like a realistic looking blend. And then once she assembles it, it's just like, oh, that is so nice. Well, I mean, of course it was going to be nice, but it's, um, yeah, just stunning work. I hear, um, I hope I'm allowed to share this. Um, when I designed my collection with Jack of all trades, I got a little bit of background on what other folks do, and it turns out I think Susan, she actually cuts the pieces out herself. So this isn't like an illustrative rendering on her first draft. I hear that she like has physical card pieces or cardstock pieces, cuts them, and then that's like what ends up going to whoever creative team to digitize it or whatever, to make it to manifest it in some sort of die. So it's like she takes like a botanical sort of slice of the flower, makes it so that it can be a 3D shape. If that makes sense, I don't know. It's so good. It's so good. And then to realize it on a card is just amazing. So just to recap, I'm using magenta on top of, oh, I wrote it down. Hold on. It's blush and chiffon cardstock. These are both Spellbinders color wheel cardstock colors. And we'll see if that's dark enough. It's not looking, it looks like I could go a little bit darker, but we're gonna see what happens. Oh, the chat is just going and going. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. And of course, like if you have any questions, please just throw in question in the front of your chat so I don't miss it. And if I do miss anything, I've got my blog linked in the description box. Please shoot me a message on my forum on my blog, or if you can send me a DM on Instagram. I'd gladly answer it. So yeah, I wasn't sure. It's loud to me, and it scared me. I'm not gonna lie, I got chills like hearing and it was Kit Kat. Alrighty. Um, and thank you. Yeah, I'm glad so many people have joined today. Um, and I don't know. I do not know how my daffodils stay this long. Um, the flowers and the foliage stay for quite a while. At least they did this year. Um, and hello, Amanda. Good to see you back. Um, so many folks from Colorado. I'm Denver based, so um, yeah. And this is what I'm using today. Yes, that's right. It's the STC double and single peonies. STC and then 3 spellbinders. So, and I mean, I'm just going to address it anyway because it's just fun to finally be able to pull up the chat on the screen, right here and be able to talk to y'all. So let's see. I do like to let the ink dry back a little bit. So I appreciate you all throwing some comments and, interacting with me on the chat. Because, dye inks are just naturally going to settle back. They might dry lighter. So what I like to do, even with the Altenew Craft a Flower series, is to just get a dry fit on this. And one of the things I learned about the STC dyes, right, is because it's not a completely flat image. It actually, you can curl them enough to get a cup shape that sometimes you have to color the back of your die cuts. So right now it's looking a little light. I wonder what I can use in the center to make it just a little bit darker, but still fuchsia, Let's try Berry Mocha. Berry Mocha is from Tea Party. Take these back out. And y'all, I know last live I was still recovering from the crud, whatever was happening during the holidays, and I finally feel like I can 97% breathe. So, let's see what else we've got. Um, I mean, hopefully this inspires you to use it because it's no good in its little packaging, you know. And I'll show you some other ways that I add dimension to this set. So, okay, let me deepen this a little bit. I feel like I'll have to take the color out just a little bit more, like right up to the edge where this starts to diffuse, to make this really deep in the center. I'm gonna skip these. I have these roughly in order of where I want them to be placed in the final assembled peonies. So maybe I'll just do these top 5 layers. And I'm taking this to almost create a really hard blend right up against magenta, like that. So you can see the drastic difference, but that magenta is still kind of peeping through, okay? And again, like I mentioned, I'm referencing the Ito Peony, Cora Louise. Oh, I never finished my little story about this one, but it's one of the first peonies I saw and smelled, and I cannot describe the fragrance of this flower. Just yeah, a stunning, stunning fragrance. It was way out of my price range. It was a very expensive peony, and I was not as confident of a gardener at this point when I first saw it. So that I was like, I cannot buy this with and guarantee that it's gonna continue to thrive year after year. And for me, I have other herbaceous peonies in my garden. They're not the Ito varieties, um, but they the only thing I regret about them is the placement because peonies, they bloom once in the season, and then the foliage remains and it's just foliage. And I wish I didn't put them so far in the front so that when, late summer bloomers or early summer um, blooms start to push through, then I'm not like covering them with the foliage of the peony. So that's my dilemma. um, and my story about peonies and how I feel about them. And I also grouped all my peonies together. So when winter hits, I have no winter interest in that section because it's just a big gap. But I can't dig them out. Like I love where they are, and when they bloom, it's just like, oh, they're right there. Um, and but there's not enough room to even plant around them. I don't have a very big yard. Um, so I'm pretty selective of what I put, but when they do bloom, it's just like a showstopper right there in its little section. So berry mocha on top, I think that's perfect. That was like, I think the perfect blend for that. Yeah, okay. Before I put these away on a different um, tray, I have the centers here. I think I need to add a little bit of ink blending to these. These are on another die. I think I only need whatever is on this die for the center of these peony flowers. So we're gonna give it a try. I do want a different blending brush. I'll use this micro blending brush actually. Let me see if I can find a not brand new one. These are different. This is the micro blending brush. They have the flat bristles as opposed to the detail blending brush. This one has the angled bristles as I rotate it. Hopefully you can see that. And I'll use magenta just to color the very base of this. I think it'll help create some nice contrast in the anthers, the pollen containing areas of the peony center. And as I'm looking at my reference image here, it looks like the stem part of the center of the flower has a little bit of the same color. So with the Altenew Craft of Flowers, I feel like you get a little bit more of a sense of what the flower looks like. And for me, maybe because I've practiced it enough, you can kind of visualize what the completed flower will look like and where you need to apply ink. But this one is a little bit more adaptive. Like you kind of have to apply ink, think about what the layers are going to look like with color on the front and maybe if you need some on the back. Because once you start adding dimension to your pieces, it's going to be really hard to flatten them back out. So, but anyway, in the end, it's just a card. Well, you know, it's going to be pretty anyway. So, let's see what we've got going on. In Denver, we don't have that much rain, so. For us, when the peonies come out, it's like maybe mid-May to maybe beginning of August is when I at least have the foliage and they're still nice. I get the peony blooms for like not even a week, which is so sad. But they just smell amazing. I'll have to take a look at what this one looks like. Uh, and yeah, this is what I fear, is that they don't like to be moved. So I kind of I just have to deal with it. I have a Buckeye Bell. Oh my gosh, the name just left me. Carl Lagerfeld? Is that right? Carl something. Um, It's like a pink peony. And then I have some other white ones in a different part of my garden. It seems like they struggle more and more every year. It's like I get the foliage and these really odd looking flowers. So I don't know what happened to them. Maybe this year they will recover, but I don't know if I accidentally hit something when I was planting other things. Anyway. Let's see what else we've got. Um, mm, mm, mm. Oh, has Kathy made something with it? I'm sure it was absolutely stunning. Let me take a look here. Thank you for all your comments on here. Oh my gosh, there's already 91 people. That is so crazy. You know, it does help if you give me a like on here. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, of course. I'd really appreciate it. I've been trying to get a more consistent live schedule. I just started going live in October after teaching like a variety of classes through Altenew and of course through Concord and Ninth. I felt like a little bit more confident to explore this face-to-face interaction and talk to you guys on the chat. So it's nice. It's nice to have the interaction. I miss it during the classes. And I get to showcase so many more things because I don't have to spend 8 or 9 hours on a pre-recorded video. I can just spend the hour and a half time with you all. So yeah. Okay. What should we do? Let me start ink blending on the other pieces and then we'll come back to this. So let me bring in my tray. We'll set these off to the side. And the next peony reference that I'm looking at, is the Julia Rose. Peony, which I have never seen myself um, in person. So um, another stunning flower. I kind of like its coral charm looking palette because, you know, this one was fairly easy to color. I wanted something that had a little bit more of a statement to it. So that's these pieces right here. And of course, there are nice little clues or directions on here. This one you cut 2 times. And I did not follow directions this time. I cut it 3 times. uh, and we'll kind of just see what happens. And I don't know if I'll use this layer. Okay, we're gonna find out what it looks like without it. And that, of course, is the flower center again. So as I'm looking at my reference image, I'm noticing like a baby pink sort of outline. A lot of that little nice coral apricot blush in the center. So yeah, I guess we'll just start making that. Let me get these in a rough order here. Okay. Baby pink on the edges. Mini ink blending tool. Yeah, it's like really light. Just like that. See what it looks like when this is curled. I feel like I want this flower to be just a little bit tighter than the Ito, what is this? The Cora Louise version that I did. I want that to be a little bit more open, more front facing. This one I kind of want off to the side. So we'll see if I need to add some ink to the back. What are we at here? And I'm glad to hear. Peonies are a close favorite, probably number 2 for me, but I love a rose. I mentioned I have a really small space, but I make sure to cram at least 22 roses in my garden. And I pick them for fragrance, sometimes for color, but you know, a good smelling rose is, I can't describe it. It's amazing, just like chills instantly as I think about it. So, oh my gosh, we just crested 100. Oh, that's so crazy. Oh yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Carrie. I just saw it. Um, you know, and I have not done my homework yet, so it's crazy. I'm I'm nervous that um I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous because it's just a different feel, it's a different vibe, and I don't know. Maybe I'm mixing it up with excitement because I get to see everyone again. So okay, that was baby pink on there. Now for the center, I just want that little bit of blush. Let's put this off to the side for a moment. And it's looking, let's start with Golden Honeycomb. This is from, sorry, Baby Pink was from Bubblegum Dreams. I don't know if I said that. And then Golden Honeycomb is from Sunkissed Delights. And I want to add a little bit of this color to the center. Using another mini ink blending tool. See how far I need to take this out. We'll do another dry fit. Maybe I need to apply more depth to the center. And it looks like we're almost about 45 minutes in. Again, I appreciate you all joining. And typically I'll just take about an hour and a half of your time. So I'll go until 9 p.m. Mountain Time. I said I thought I was going to finish this card early. Those were lies. I told you lies. Oh, sorry, I missed a few questions. Let's see. I will say, I think the climate that I live in Colorado is makes it a lot easier because we're such a dry climate. We don't have problems with like, at least in my garden, I don't have problems with mildew because it's not humid. My the garden, the area in my garden that I have my roses on are in full sun. So even if they do get a little bit of moisture, the direct sun like instantly dries the foliage. So, um, you know, I feel like that's why it makes it so easy for me um, in this area. And I do enjoy going around and deadheading and, snipping off the spent roses and encouraging new blooms. So, um, my favorite, I have to think about this one because it seems to change a lot. Honestly, I'll say the first one that came to mind, the one that I have is the Pope John Paul II. Um, I have it in the bush form. Well, I had it in the bush form, and then I gave that one to my mom, and then I have a standard one, so it's the tree form rose, and it's just nice to be able to walk up, and it's just right there. The fragrance is right at face level, so that's another one that I really enjoy. Um, if I had to pick one for health, um, my Mr. Lincoln rose, it's like this, I don't know else to describe it, but just like a deep, true blood red is just stunning, and it smells amazing. Distant Drums is one of my Floribundas. I love it. Um, Fun in the Sun is I think a grandiflora. Um, Prolific, and that fragrance is so strong. I can smell it. Like I can smell it if it's the only thing that it still has roses on it. I can smell it on the other side of my house. Um, and yes, this is my 9 by 12 sticky mat grid. I do make sure to, from experience, that I only use like a soapy water solution to clean it. And yeah, it stays really sticky for me. I use it. I mean, those of you who join my lives, like I use this nearly every time. I use it for almost every card. So, yeah, it holds my card stock really well for me. So hopefully you haven't used a solvent-based cleaner, or sometimes I do take it to the bathroom sink and I just use soap and water, and like the soft side of an abrasive sponge or a soft sponge to just get the cardstock pieces off, and then it's brand new for me. Air dry. I don't use any heat or towels to get it dry. So yeah, great questions. Um, all you rose people, can you tell me what your favorite? Oh, this one. Hold on. Sorry, I saw your comment, Leanne, and I got so excited. Mr. Lincoln, yes, I love it. But the Fragrant Cloud is also one I have, and it's, yeah, so good. Oh, and yeah, glad I could answer your question. Thank you for asking it. I appreciate it. And where's my other lab friend? Yes, I did not take it from the lab. But Rosie mentioned it's like a succulent watering bottle, which is true, but I know it as a bleach bottle. When you clean the hood, or if you have ethanol, methanol, it's the same looking bottle. And I think that's why I found comfort in using this for cleaning stamp surfaces, because it's just familiar to me. So yes. And if you've joined other lives or maybe some of my um, classes, I also have a vortexer in here to mix up pigments and stuff. But of course, it was marketed as like a nail polish mixer or whatever it was. To me, it's a vortexer for um, mixing DNA. It's amazing. It's a white rose, like a citrus fragrance. White rose with like it's like a pale yellow center. Because I have other white roses. Sugar Moon is one I recently got. It's a white rose, but it's like almost more gray in the center, so it's like a different kind of warm white, I guess. But Pope John Paul is a fabulous rose. It was a it's a really healthy rose too. I haven't had problems with it. I've actually, in my inexperience, I transplanted it a lot of times because I wasn't sure of where to put it. So I kept planting it, digging it, planting it, digging it. And every time it seemed to survive well. So, yeah. Okay. This is the Julia Rose coloration on here. Oh, let's do a little dry fit. Making sure that I went far enough with these colors, and it looks like I did, so that everything still has a moment to shine through. Let me actually just get these off of here, and then let's work on these centers. So these ones also have a little bit of that bright orange center. Bring in Amber Blaze. This should still be from Sunkissed Delights, just like Golden Honeycomb. We'll deepen those areas there. And let's get to assembling. We'll see if I get to the foliage. Actually, let me just do the foliage pieces real quick. The foliage die looks like this, just like real peonies. Love the foliage. I wish I could remember what this formation is called, but that's what they look like. I definitely overcut the pieces. I don't know if I'll need all of these, but I have them just in case. And then I have also die cut the pieces for the sentiment, and I usually like to stack them and glue them before going live, but I didn't get a moment to, so. And yeah, speaking of roses, I know we're on peonies, but speaking of roses, my 3 newest roses this year that I planted last summer that didn't quite bloom, I have Peace, Sugar Moon, and then there was a third one, Ebb and Tide. Ebb Tide, sorry. It's like a deep purple. That's a color that I was missing in my garden. I didn't have a lot of purples. I had a lot of pinks, I had a lot of yellows, a lot of whites, but nothing like quite like that deep purple. So I'm hoping Ebb Tide made it through the winter. So yeah. Let's see, what do I want to do? We'll just keep it really simple on this one. Use green opal. Deepen the base of these leaves. Now, in the demo video I saw from Susan, like this was probably a few years ago now, she uses alcohol markers to create that nice striation. We will be here all night if I do that, trying to realistically color these layers, but we'll see what happens. We're just gonna see. You're kind of seeing the reveal live because I haven't used this die set yet on my own time. Sorry, green opal was in Jade Dreams. Let's go back to the beginning of our ink blending pieces and bring in the Ito Peony Cora Louise. I think We can say bye to Wilbur. We won't need them. I think we won't need them anymore. And I meant to look at this before I went live. I don't remember if Spellbinders has their equivalent of this. So they do. They have like a petal shaper type fondant ball end shaper set. So that's worth checking out as well. I have the Alternate one, so that's what I'm going to use. And like I mentioned, I want this flower to be a little bit more open. So I don't want to really curl and compress these images too much. What size is this? I think this is the 8mm size. Yep. And I'm going to get the three millimeter, or no, this is the 6. I'm going to use the 6mm as well. So I'll use the larger ball end to create some general curl to these petals on here. Okay, I remember I saw a question, so maybe while we're doing this. What do you do when your mini blending brushes from Alternate get hard and crusty? I do have a few of those, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe because I store it in the case, you know, so my bristles are facing down and possibly they're in a little bit more of a warmer environment. They don't get like that hard nature to them. Now I know the darker colors will do that, but you know, I kind of work it into a dry paper towel to get the majority of the dried ink off. And then I think I saw a few comments about using, oh, here it is, using alcohol in a paper towel. The only reason why I don't use any solvents in general to clean brushes or surfaces is, especially for brushes, you risk dissolving the glue that's in the ferrule of the brush. So the thing that holds the bristles to the brush end itself. So, you know, just a good strong dish soap like maybe Dawn will, and a little bit of water, and really working that into your palm to get that ink off, and then dry it this way. So bristles down so that the water comes out from underneath here. That's the best advice I can give there. But yeah, good question. Thanks for asking. I know that I'm sure a lot of people have had the same experience. So this the mat that you're talking about are you talking about my 9x12 sticky mat grid? This one? Can you let me know? Oh, well, either way, you can, this is separate. This is not what goes in the stamp wheel because it's the 9x12 size. So yes, you can. I'm not sure if I linked to this. I usually almost always link to this in the description box. So just let me know. And I'll watch out for your response if that's the right one. So this one. Getting a general curl to this petal. And the Spellbinders cardstocks are pretty hefty, so it takes a little bit of force to get that nice curl to them. And I don't want all of these to be so uniform, you know, they're supposed to be like real peony petals. And then with one of the smaller end tools, I'll encourage some folds in the petals, maybe some at the tip. Oh no, y'all, we're gonna be here all day if I do this. Oh, but it looks so nice with the extra like debossing in the petals. Gotta do it. Now that I started, we gotta do it, right? And we're kind of just I'm honestly I'm kind of guessing like where I think petal folds should go. I'm kind of like referencing and looking at these U shapes. So like here's a deep V shape, and I'm drawing a line from that V into the center of the flower. And that's how I kind of interpret these folds, where they would naturally occur, in my opinion. Okay, we're going to do that petal by petal and layer by layer. And this is a much more open appearance for the Ito Cora Louise. Okay, thank you, Zainab, for letting me know. And you know, the thing about this, Carrie, is I'm not gonna lie, I make the thumbnail, I make the title, I have a general idea of what I want to make, and then I don't want to, I'm not like 100% sure about what I'm going to use exactly. So like, I'm not sure about the cardstock colors until like 30 minutes or an hour before. Um, so I do try, um, but the majority of the things should be there. And then I do fix the list at the end for those of for the folks who um, catch the replay. So um, I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all understanding on that one. On that. Where's the other brush? Oh no, that's all. Again, this is like the STC ones are a little bit of an adaptive process for me, so um I cannot help it. I don't know. It just feels more natural for me that way. Maybe because I'm like so inspired by the garden, um, that I remember it so distinctly. Especially if they're fragrant. And I don't know. I get so excited about flowers. It's always a thing for me. Still continuing to press and get that cupped look on here. But I think with like the STC dyes, you can get such a deep curl on these images, and that's the intent, is like you're supposed to, like a dahlia flower, you know, with it's almost tubular petal formations. You should be able to get these with these images, and it's supposed to look really nice. I just can't do it quite like Susan. Just so naturally, it seems. But that's why she demos it, right? Because it's if you're not shown it, you know, how are you supposed to know? So we're gonna give it a try on some of these layers as I press the largest ball, and this is the 12 millimeter size on here. Ooh, so many layers. It's gonna look so exciting. I wonder now, I said I was gonna try to finish this in an hour, but I don't even know if an hour and a half is enough. just like a preliminary shape on here, and then we'll do another dry fit, and we'll see like what other ways we can add dimension to these petals aside from creating these cupped shapes. Oh, this is the Spellbinders color wheel cardstock colors, so these ones. And I used, oh, I wrote it down. I used chiffon, blush. Oh, the green cardstock was Fern, which is this one. Fern. And chiffon. And where's blush? Blush. And then the flower centers were beeswax. Where's that cardstock? That's not it. That's saffron. Come on, work with me. There we go. Blush, chiffon, and beeswax. It's been a few years since I've taken a look myself, but I remember there was a specific sort of crepe paper that Susan was using too. I know it had some sort of texture to it, and it was just supposed to help get that nice veined detail of the petals. So I'm not sure if it's still there. It's been a while since I've seen it, or I looked myself. Ooh, there's so many layers on this. I wonder if I feel like I only needed to ink blend right on like the top, like the top 5 layers maybe. Ooh, it's so, and then like you can see here, it's pretty dimensional there. So where's my other tool here? I'm gonna use the Perfect Picker tool. And this is the one with like the needle point and the wax tip on the other side, but I'm actually not using it for that. I want to use it to encourage even more of that fold and creating some more, dimension and folds in the petals on here. Oh yeah. And I think this is what I was referencing to. It's like, I don't know how to describe the cardstock. It's not their BetterPress cardstock. And I'll truthfully, I've never owned it myself, but I just remember seeing it in the demos, some sort of other type of cardstock that presses really nice into this, but maybe one day. And I'm just kind of looking at my reference image here to see how they curl. And generally it's like this cup shape. Some of these pieces really fold in on itself. And this is really the time to like get such nice dimension on here. What else can I use? I want something a little thinner now. Use my blending brush. How about that? To really encourage some extra folds on these petals. And now this is really not going to lay flat anymore, which I think is going to look so nice on here. But I don't want to do too much because I don't want it to start turning into that really marshmallowy cup shape. I still want it to appear more open. And then these layers, let me use this again to maybe just curl this layer of petals. Another dry fit. Oh, we still have to do the center. It'll be fine. Dry fit with this one is a little bit more challenging than the alternate ones. You know, you kind of just gotta press them and align the open alignment guide, the keyhole alignment. But with this one, it's kind of just like hold and see what happens. Oh my gosh, this is turning out exactly what I mean. Let me see if I can use my reverse tweezers to try and pick this up as one piece to show. It doesn't look like a lot right now, but I'm feeling pretty good now that there's a little bit more curl to the peonies. And this is, the Etched peony is like I think it's a semi-double, so it's not quite as full as this one. Even as I'm looking at my reference images, it looks a little bit more like on the single side of petals, and that just means like a like a double peony contains double the amount of petals that it normally would. Semi-double is of course like 3/4 to a little bit more than half, so on and so forth. So yeah, this is a really fluffy iteration of the peony image. So, and then I can also drop these in here. Let me just add a little bit of curl to this one. Maybe I'll assemble this piece. Maybe not, we'll see. At least get this with a little bit more dimension. And then this one, this is what I'll use this for. Give this a little curl. Just to get it primed and started. Maybe I'll even use something a little tighter. Oh, this actually works so much better because then I can wrap it around like this. And the ball end will help it fuse and splay out. Ooh, sorry, I was not paying attention to the camera. There we go. Okay, let me get that off of here. At least to get like a foundation of this curl. There we go. Okay, off to the side for a moment. Let's do this one real quick. And same deal. This one I want a much more intense cup formation. So luckily the petals are smaller. So I'm really going to encourage these to fold in on itself. Yeah, without a petal shaper tool of sorts, whether it's the Spellbinders one or this one that I'm using from Altenew, like I feel like that's just like the other part of the equation for making this look a lot more realistic. The images are not meant to just lay flat on your card. You kind of have to encourage it and form the petals to make them look as they intended. I'm sure that's from what I understood from speaking with the Spellbinders team is that's how they designed it, or that's how Susan designed it. Especially right there in the center, you can see now they're like really curling. Oh my. Ooh, okay. Okay, I think we don't need to add, yeah, we won't need to add any ink blending to the back, but just like the other one, let me try to curl these just a little bit more in the center. Create a little bit more of that tubular shape. And yes. And no, this is not the Altenew keyhole alignment system. This is the STC from Spellbinders. Susan Tierney-Cockburn dies. So there's just a little bit more, you get a little bit more creative assembly with these. There's a little bit more ways to make it look realistic on here. So there's that. I'm glad I didn't ink blend that piece. And then this one, maybe I'll leave this layer off even. And I'll just work on these two smaller pieces. To make the flower center on here. Okay. Oop. I'm not going to put those too far. Let's start gluing this together. I have had my hot glue gun plugged in this entire time, and that is what I'm going to use to glue these layers together. Kind of have to trust the process a little bit when it comes to hot gluing on here. But here we go. Okay. And I don't know about you, I don't want to jinx myself. I have bad luck with the hot glue gun. So hopefully I do not say some, hopefully my words are, I make good choices with my words. Let's just say that. On that. Oh, yes. I have held on to an STC card. I meant to grab it before I went live. I don't know if I'll be able to grab it, but yeah, it's one that I just haven't had the guts to give away because it won't fit in an envelope. And you'll see with this one, this will not fit in an envelope either. It's definitely a box card. So I'm just aligning the centers, and it's at this point, if I feel like a petal shape needs more curl to it or more form, it's right here, then I can do that. So now I'll even take like the needle point to really push and create some deliberate folds on these layers, like that. Y'all, we will be here all night if I really try to hyperfixate on this, so better keep it moving. Love that. Okay, last two layers. And yeah, sadly, in my experience, liquid glue just doesn't cut it. I've tried glossy accents, same thing. It's just like not quite what I personally need it to be. And so hot glue is just the only thing that will hold all these layers together. I didn't burn myself on this flower, so thank goodness. And yeah, we'll just finish putting all of these pieces in the center. I think Spellbinders also has other embellishments to make it look like anthers for the centers of these flowers. They're like little ball beads, I think, that you can put on. I did put it on this low temperature setting, so for sure I don't scald my fingers, because if I hurt myself before I go to Concord and Ninth, and then I can't even make anything, you know? Okay, this is where we're gonna meet a little bit more of a challenge. I'm gonna use my reverse tweezers, actually. See if I can get this held together. And then just plop it in the center. Yeah, that should work. Hold it there for a little bit. And yeah, this is what I wanted to avoid. And with wet ink and wet liquid glue, sometimes it actually comes apart for me, especially if I try to manipulate it too much. So yeah, hot glue is really, it has really saved me on this. So cute. I wonder if I should have just done 2 of those. Anyway, okay, moving on. That's our Ito Cora Louise. And then let's do this one. Same deal. Kind of dropping in a set of petals, offsetting a little bit before getting the next one. Like, I don't know, 45 to 35 degrees. Oops. And then the smaller layers go in the center. I want a little bit more curl on this. Just gently coax it like this. Okay, oh, so cute. Let's get this piece on and then we can start working on foliage. Who was I kidding thinking I could get a dimensional flower done in an hour and a half? Like, I should really know myself by now. That was not going to happen. Reverse tweezers again on this smaller piece, just to hold the coiled paper together. And hold that on there. Let's see. Oh, 102. So many of you have joined. Again, I really appreciate it. We've got 10 minutes left. I might have to take another 20 to finish the foliage, but we'll see. I seem to like surprise myself at the end because then I frantically try to finish this card. But yeah, if you're tuning in or this is the first time you've joined me, from Amy, again, Amy, thank you so much for sending folks over to my channel. And I know so many of you like tag people on Instagram and encourage people to check me out. I appreciate it. It's so nice to see so many of you watching and joining me as I frantically finish this 3D floral card. Again, this is the Spellbinders STC Susan Tierney-Cockburn double and single peonies. I do have the sentiment cut. We'll see if I have time to at least show you how I put it together. Let's see if this is, there we go. And we'll just gently splay this out. I used Spellbinders cardstocks to die cut the layers to this. I generally followed the rule or the guide as far as how many I should be cutting out. But otherwise, I did take some creative freedom in assembling this card. So I am going to uncurl these petals here because I have a general idea of like, I want it to look like that, you know? So I don't want so much of an intense cup there. So let me curl some petals backwards even, just with my fingers. Do we like that? I just wish I could, you know, smell it now. Still need my hot glue gun. It's going to really help for the foliage pieces. The only Spellbinders cardstock I didn't use is this one. This is Rainforest from Concord and Ninth. I feel like this is what I needed for my color palette to really let the bloom stand out. So just centering that on here. This is the only thing I don't like about hot glue, the stringy business. Gets everywhere. My cats end up eating it. Okay. Aside from that, I like to use a really thick foam tape. This card is already full of dimension, but I want it to sit above the cardstock so that I can tuck in the foliage pieces behind it. So I know I want this here. And this one kind of rests and nestles on top like that. So yeah, these, as I assemble with the dies here, where did my tweezers go? Oh, they're right here. I am thinking about like, I don't want it to be both of these flowers to just sit open like this. I kind of want them to, you know, curl on each other and, you know, be a nice arrangement on here. So pushing that right up against there to make it look more full. Kind of like how they would look in a bouquet. And now this is where the foliage pieces come in. Then we continue to frame this piece with the foliage, and I'm just going to use my fingers this time to curl the leaves. And because I don't want to be waiting for the glue to dry, hot glue is already hot, might as well use it. Oh yeah, good point. Thank you, Marilyn. And just continue to build the foliage on here. I'm just trying to get a foundation of this shape. And continue to build that. And then of course, I feel like this is gonna need splatter. Love splatter on top of cards like this. Is this what, I think this is what I was asking about earlier. There's like a bead embellishment that Spellbinder sells. I think that's what this is. I haven't gotten it myself yet. So, hoping to try that out one day. Oh, perfect. Okay. Curling away. Oh, this is, oh, every time, this, so exciting. Yes, okay, thank you. There they are. Thank you for confirming. How many pieces did I cut? I think I cut 7 pieces of the or 7 layers of the foliage. We'll see if I use all of them. Oh, I feel like one needs to go higher to create some, like, I don't want it to just be like a salad, right? Like flowers sitting on top of these leaves, you know, like I feel like it needs to have a little bit more curl to it, you know? Let's try using my little tool here to give this a little bit more of a cupped arrangement. Try that. There we go. Yes, that's it. Okay. Needs one more, I think, somewhere. Yeah, down here. And then the sentiment. Where's the sentiment gonna go? And this is where I like to use a lot of instant dimension foam tape to really raise this piece up. I forgot what this it's a BetterPress and die set combo for these sentiments. So I think I linked it in the description box. I just don't remember what it was called. So let me add that later because I don't want to get splatter on it, but I also want to make sure that I can finish this card in the next few moments here. Let me add a little bit more foliage. Oh no, see, I knew this was going to happen. It's just going to start going crazy with the foliage. One more. Okay. Get this out of the way. And put that off to the side. I just think it needs like white splatter. Yeah, let's do white splatter. Thank you. Where did it go? I just saw it. Thank you, Amy. Gonna use my vortexer now to mix up my pure white ink spray. Just seeing all your comments here. Is this a cabinet card? This might be. Yes, such a nice fragrance, the Mr. Lincoln. That one is one of the first roses I ever got, so it is also fairly sentimental. There we go. Some on the flower too. I just like that really freshly watered look sometimes on flowers, on floral cards with pure white ink spray splatter. And then what I like about pure white ink spray instead of like, I don't know, I was using Dr. P.H. Martin's like the ink, is that this one's a little bit just slightly transparent. So you get a little bit more variation in the splatter. So some are more opaque, like the smaller pieces. Some of the larger pieces become a little bit more transparent. So it's just a lot of depth to the splatter instead of it just being like a really solid wash of white color. So while that's drying, let's just go ahead and assemble the sentiment real quick. Thank you all for sticking around a little bit later. Still so many folks. I can't believe it. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Is that how did you know? Sorry, I'm looking at this comment. Oh my goodness, where'd you go? Right here. It is. I also have the 8-bit do keyboard, the mechanical keyboard. It was my first mechanical keyboard. I don't use it in my studio as much as I used to because it's big. And so it takes a lot of room for when I do video editing. But yeah, this is it's a retro mouse. It looks so cool. It fits my vibe. So yeah. Just gluing these layers together, I used Nina Solar White 80-pound to press the sentiment. I used Obsidian Pigment ink as my black ink to transfer the BetterPress sentiment onto this white cardstock, and then use the coordinating dice to cut the offset layers. Let me just show the dice set, or sorry, the BetterPress set. So happiness is neither, okay, no, I can't read it backwards, but there are just like these nice, as it mentions, poetry type lines that are on here. I use this thank you sentiment, and then happy gotcha day, because I think it was supposed to coordinate with like a pet type sentiment, one of them. There was a reason for that happy gotcha day. Anyway, almost there. Last layer. I felt the need to do 4 layers of this because I knew it was going to stick fairly high off of my card than it usually does. Get this off of here to do the grand reveal. Move the mouse out of the way for a little bit. Yep, right there. Yes. That's what I remember reading. Yes, I think that's what they mentioned, is that this is a re-release after it was either discontinued or just like retired, I guess, and then now it's come back out of retirement, from what I understand. So I've never had the set before, and I know many folks have not seen this set before, so I'm glad that it got to be revitalized so that people can experience it. Because if I had known about this the first time, like, this would have been an add to cart for me. So let me just add this on here. I think right here is the best spot. And oh no, I touched the splatter. You know what we're gonna do? Since we're already here, let's cover it up with some sequins. Is it going to be this one or this one? I have Crystal Moonlight and Dazzling Diamond. I think it's giving, let's do Crystal Moonlight. Add a few areas of this. Oh no, come on, glossy accents. Not right now. Oh no. That's all right. I think I have another one. Yes. And then this should nearly finish it for us this evening. Again, thank you all for joining me so late for this live. I really appreciate it. The next time I plan on going live is February 4th, which is the another Wednesday. I go live 19:30 Mountain Standard Time, or whatever savings time we're on. And it just happens to work because I work full time. I work during the day. And it just gives me time to, number one, eat. Actually, number one, make sure my cats eat. And then number two, make sure I eat. And if there are any last minute changes I need to make to the live or any supply lists I need to make, I can do so. And yeah, I hope to see you all on Concord and Nine's Winter Retreat later on this week and this weekend. I know a few of you on the chat have mentioned you are in, you'll be joining us this weekend. So I'm excited. It's my first winter retreat. Hopefully my hair will be a little bit shorter by then. I need to really cut my hair. But yeah, it'll be a great time. It'll be a great time regardless. And I am so incredibly honored to join Greg and the team again, to see some good old card making friends, and yeah, just to do my other job. So there we go, right on time. Let's get this out of the way again. This is, I don't know how to describe it. I just wish it had the fragrance with it. But this is the STC die sets, double and single peonies, with the coordinating sentiment on here. I've used a lot of ink blending, my hot glue gun to really make sure that these stay together, white splatter, and the Crystal Moonlight sequence to embellish this card. I really don't think it needs anything else. If I had a nice embossing folder to throw on the background, maybe I would have done that, but otherwise, this is the card. So thank you again for joining me live. Thank you to everybody who was new and joined me here. 109 of you watching is just absolutely amazing. So, give my video a thumbs up, give my live a thumbs up. If you're catching this on the replay, I really appreciate you, tuning in. Links are in the description box. I'm on Instagram. I do have my own blog, and I do post pre-recorded video content on here as well. I'm on the Altenew creative team, so you might see a lot of my videos show up on their channel. I have a series called Perfect Pairings with Jaycee, where I showcase old and new Altenew things and pair them together, use card making techniques. And yeah, it's just another way of shopping your stash with your Altenew products or with any of your other brands, and how to put them together in a more cohesive way. So yeah, I hope I didn't miss any last minute questions as I was trying to finish this card within a reasonable amount of time. Thank you for staying with me a little bit later. But otherwise, I'll hope to see you again February 4th, 19:30 Mountain Standard Time. Give this live a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss the times that I do go live, because I know it is pretty late. But otherwise, stay warm. And if you're on Concord and Nine's Winter Retreat, I'll see you tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll see you next week. Okay. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.